When you're playing a game that really kind of depends on the roll of the dice, fortune and misfortune effects really affect gameplay. And there are things that unfortunately just kind of happen to you, but there are also things within the game that you can use to help control your fortune or maybe mitigate some of the misfortune. My name is Don. I'm trying to be the Sly Strategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. Fortune and misfortune effects alter how you roll your dice. So if you have a fortune effect on you, or you've done something in order to incur a fortune effect, it's going to give you a benefit to your roll. And if you have a misfortune effect on you, or you've done something to incur misfortune, it is going to negatively affect your roll. If you do something in order to affect your fortune or misfortune, we'll specifically talk about the fortune. They might allow you to re-roll a failed roll, or they might force you in a misfortune to re-roll a successful roll. They can allow you to roll twice and pick the better or the worse of whatever you rolled. But whatever it is, you cannot have more than one fortune effect or misfortune effect on you at any given time, nor can it come into play on a single roll. A good example for this is if an effect lets you roll twice and use the higher roll, you then can't bring up halfling luck, which is a fortune effect, in order to re-roll if you fail, with the unfortunate condition that both of the rolls you just did caused you to fail. Now, there are going to be circumstances when it seems that multiple fortune effects are going to be occurring at the same time. And if that's the case, you have to pick which one to use. Now, if two misfortune effects are affecting you at the same time, it is not the player's choice. At that point, it becomes the game master's choice as to which misfortune effect they are going to make you incur during that particular turn. But if you have a fortune effect and then a misfortune effect comes up at the same time, the two cancel each other out and you'll roll normally. So if prior to your turn in the initiative order, someone did something that caused you to have a misfortune effect, you can then use a fortune effect to try to cancel out that misfortune effect. Maybe it's kind of like a little counteracting. Now, just to give you some examples of some types of fortune effects that you can actively use, one was already mentioned in the example, which was halfling luck. If you happen to be a halfling and you have that particular feat, then you can use halfling luck in order to re-roll. Another good one that comes with spells, or you can sometimes get it with other means, is True Strike. True Strike allows you to roll twice and pick the better of the two rolls. And I really like how it's described. It basically says you glimpse into the future as to what the possibilities of the two strikes could be, and then you pick the better of the two. So it adds a little bit of flavor to it. I kind of like that about True Strike. And the other big advantage of True Strike is it ignores any circumstance penalties to the attack roll, and it also ignores any flat checks that might be needed simply because of concealment or any other means that you would have to use a flat check in order to attack. Now, I hope this brief little quick tip on fortune and misfortune effects helped. It's a pretty simple concept, but it comes in to play a lot simply because we're playing a game that kind of depends on the roll of the dice. So if you have skills or feats or anything that allows you to give yourself fortune, or if something has happened to you that has given you a misfortune effect, it can be pretty consequential to how the combat's going to go, how your story goes, and how your interactions with other NPCs goes, depending on what particular misfortune or fortune has befallen you. Now, I do hope you liked this video, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or hit that notification bell. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great day and happy adventuring. Thanks.